Cleaning up at the off-grid homestead today. One advantage of a composting toilet is you can remove it for cleaning. Makes it very, very convenient to take it outside and scrub it, so all the messy work can be done outdoors instead of in the house. And I like that fact about the Airhead composting toilet. I got one half over here, I've got one half over here drying out. So when it's dry, I'll take it back in the house, in the tiny house on wheels, and set it back up. In the meantime, I'm doing some maintenance on the Airhead composting toilet connections. The cats had ripped off the fan from the wall, which caused the toilet to fail. Not necessarily fail, it wasn't the toilet's fault so much as the fan was no longer sucking air through. Flies, little tiny, I don't know what they were, little flies moved in, which actually broke down the stuff in the toilet even faster. It was quite amazing what they did, but it made a mess of the toilet. So I have just thoroughly cleaned it, and now I'm going to go in and refasten the fan better and put a tube through the wall, and then put some spray foam sealer around that so that no bugs or anything will ever get in the walls, and then put on a air flap that I bought for the outside. So that's a project for today. Improving the Airhead composting toilet installation, finalizing it, and making it cat-proof, which I didn't really think of before. So we'll see you guys inside, and I'll show you what I'm up to. So the cats had knocked the fan off the wall. Funny enough, every one of the screws that came with this slipped out, but it's not the fault of Airhead composting toilets, it's the fault of the OSB that I used on the wall. You may see I haven't finished this back wall yet because my wood was very wet and humid. I will be finishing this up pretty soon now that I have a wood shop and everything put away neatly. So I had a bag stuffed in here to stop insects from coming through. And you can see right straight on outdoors. And you can see my insulation. That's the rock wool insulation, which is basically rock mineral fibers, and it's supposed to be ant and mouse proof and everything else proof, or resistant, and it doesn't get affected by water. But anyway, this is about the Airhead composting toilet today. So now the idea is I'm going to put longer screws on here and clean this back up and put it back on the wall so that I can put my toilet back in here and get it working again and make it cat proof. And yeah, so eventually I want to get a bigger hole anyway. I might even do that today right now. I'm going to see if I can find my other hole cutter. The tubing I have, the PVC pipe though, is too small for that. But if I do put that through, it'll make it way, way more efficient. So it might be worthwhile to make that hole bigger. I'm going to check the diameter of the pipe. I think the PVC pipe is the same size as the diameter of the pipe coming out of the Airhead composting toilet anyway, so I don't think it'll make a difference. Yeah, see that hole? Yeah, I can see right there. So that won't make a difference at all in how that works. So I'm going to put some longer screws in there and get this back up on there. Put in some PVC pipe and then put on the exterior vent flaps. It sort of flaps outward when air is blowing and closes when air is not. It sort of helps prevent bugs a little bit. I might even put a piece of screen back in there as well on the outside to further prevent any possibility of insect infiltration. And then we'll put the composting toilet back in the tiny house on wheels and we'll be back in business. Okay, I've got the fan remounted to the wall, and Felix has been assisting greatly. So hopefully he won't knock it off again. So I'm going to go upstairs and put the fuse back in, if I can find it. The cats were probably playing with it. Put the fuse back in the fuse block and get that fan turned on. See, cats like to play with that. First step in toilet repair, fan is on and running. So now I gotta go outside. I have the PVC pipe shoved through. I have to go outside and mark it and then cut it and then shove it back into the wall. And then I'll show you the guard I have for the outside. Here is a thing I picked up at the hardware store. It'll blow out. Hopefully there's enough pressure from that to blow through there. And I don't need that part though. I don't know. It's too bad I can't take it off. They won't sit flush with the wall. That's unfortunate. I might have to cut off this piece. That's unfortunate. I didn't see that when I got this. I think this is made for a dryer duct, but yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that flush and then screw that on flat. Oh wait, that piece might come out. Hopefully that'll come off. No, well, we'll see. Anyway, I need that flat and flush with the wall, and then the air will blow out and bugs won't be able to come back in so easily, or wind or whatever. So that's how that's going to go out on the outside of that. And this is what I use in my composting toilet. This is from Tractor Supply. Cost $5 for about 1.5 fills, so just a little over 4.5 months of toilet use. Is this Cocoa Absorb. It's coconut husk ground up into a powder form, and then I just throw that in the toilet with some water and then mix it up nicely, and you've got your composting toilet ready to go. Well, I got my composting toilet redone, and I got the fan in place. I shortened the hose and it fits better in here now. And now I got to finish outdoors, cut the pipe and put on the vent on the back, and we'll be done. Well, there it is, everybody. I only put 2 screws in for now because I grabbed the wrong screws in the first place, and I have to put the siding on eventually, and then I'll be redoing that. But there it is. You can actually hear it, I think. I jammed it open for now with a little popcorn thing, because I realized that without that, the vent, that fan doesn't blow enough air to flap that open, and I really don't want to restrict the air flowing out of my toilet. So there it is. That's fine. That'll keep the weather out. I'll put a screen over that, and I gotta find a piece of screen, find my stapler, put that on there, and we're good to go. There's a properly installed Airhead composting toilet with the PVC pipe through the wall, and now it's done right. So slowly we're getting progress on the tiny house on wheels, one step at a time.